I'm Jenny DePass here with Oneida Lake Fishing, and today's interview will be with Jack Cook, an avid Oneida Lake fisherman.
Okay.
How often do you fish during the summertime?
How often? I fish every day I get out there, as long as it's not windy. I fish all summer long, right up until the end of the second week in November, and usually when I get done.
And where do you usually fish during the summertime versus in the springtime?
Well, springtime we fish, like I say, in shallower water near the shorelines more. The fish spawn in one of the spawning spots is up Fish Creek, and they come down the canal by Sylvan Beach. So the fish in the spring of the year are a lot of them are on the east end, and so we fish the east end of the lake. And as the water warms up and the fish come out from spawning, they stay in the shallow waters for a while, and as the water warms up, they move west where the deeper water is, and we move with the fish and the bait fish wherever the bait fish go. But as the winter and the water warms up, especially when you get mid-August, they claim that a lot of the oxygen goes out of the water, especially if you don't get a lot of wind to mix the water up. The oxygen goes out, and the fish will move into deeper water, and they'll move into weed beds, which the green vegetation will give off the oxygen for them, and they'll move into the deeper water for colder water and for oxygen too. So as the summer goes on, we move west. We end up down by the state launch in Godfrey Point, which is a deep hole of the lake, what they call the trench, and we fish around the trench. And I usually stay in that area and right around Anglers Bay, right up until November and September is the best fishing from Anglers Bay and down in that deep water. So Anglers Bay would be a good place to fish right out in front of there, because that's where they are in the fall and in the spring. So works out good both ways.
And do you use live bait at all?
No, I use spoons. We use stick bait in the spring of the year, and about July on we start using stinger spoons. We use spoons from then right to the end of season. We have good luck, or my technique of fishing anyways, because I fish with lead core. I strictly troll. I'm not a jigger. I troll. I jerk lead core by hand, and we use spoons from about July right up through to November. We have good luck, and whatever works is what we stick with. So that's about what it is. Stick bait in the spring, and then we switch to spoons about July sometimes.
And what exactly is lead core?
Lead core is a braided line with a strand of lead that goes down through the center of it, which sinks your line so you can fish off the bottom. Walleyes are bottom feeders. They get suspended wherever the oxygen is when the water warms up, but most of the time, walleyes, you find the walleyes in the bottom 10 foot of the water. So the lead core gets you down in the bottom. The more you let out, the deeper you go. So that's why we use lead core. It's a way to sink your bait down to the lower levels where the fish are.
Do you have any tips for people beginning to fish?
Beginning to fish, well, a lot of people when they do begin, they cast purple and black and purple jigs and sonars and stuff like that. And if you want to get into trolling, and you get more expensive with the lures and the setups and stuff, and the gas that you use because you're moving all the time, it gets more expensive. But for starting out, probably jigging and sonars and casting bait is the way to start. And then, if you like it and you want to get more involved and put a little bit more money into it, then you can get into the trolling and downriggers and lead core and the other rigs.
And what's jigging?
Jigging is when you move your arm, you have the lead core out and you have it in your hand, and you move it back and forth to get a different action on your lures, because when you move ahead, it pulls your lure ahead, and then when you let loose, it flutters back down. That's how they use with the spoons. The spoon will come up off the bottom, looks like a wounded minnow, and then it kind of flutters back. And when it flutters back, that's when the walleyes hit it. And then when you bring your arm ahead, that's when you set the hook.
So which method do you think is best for catching walleyes?
I use lead core from day one right up from May 1st right up to the end of the season. I myself, I like the lead core and the jigger. The best. I have the best production because it's the way I was brought up, started out fishing, and I have good success at it. And I fished it enough so I know, the shallows and the deeps, and of course everything is sonar now, and you can know where the bottom of the lake is and where the fish are just through the technology of the fish finders and stuff.
Do you use any of
GPS.
that new technology?
I got a GPS and a fish finder. Yeah, most guys that live on the lake do a lot of fishing. All do have it. Yeah. So it's an advantage. You find out where you fish the day before, and with the GPS, you can go right back to the same spot and fish the same school of fish that was there yesterday. Not guaranteeing it's going to be there the next day, but you go back the next day and they might be 200-300 yards one way or the other, but sooner or later you find them. But they move with the bait fish. The bait fish move, that's where you're going to find the walleyes, where the bait fish are.